I extend a very warm welcome to all of my students for this new session 2020 and 21. Children, my name is Pooja Rastogi and I'll be taking your social science 2 for this session. Now, before beginning with the topic, I would like to ask you 2-3 simple questions. Whatever, wherever you have a look, what are the things which you are seeing around yourself? You will be seeing your house, you will be seeing rooms, you will be seeing different commodities kept into the room. Now, after seeing all these things, what my next question is, are these things which you are seeing around yourself are of any use to you? Are of any worth to you? Answer is certainly going to be yes. Yes, the things which are around us, everywhere around us, are considered to be a resource. To understand the meaning of the word resource, let us quickly understand with this example. For example, if I am thirsty, I am going to have a glass of water. Is that glass of water useful to me? Yes, because it fulfilled the category of being usable, that is showing utility, and it had that worth which is known as importance. A glass of water for a person who is thirsty is fulfilling the two criterias of utility, point number 1, and number 2, its worth. Therefore, to define a resource, any substance which is satisfying the needs of the humans are considered as resource. Now, I would like to give you the clear definition of the word resource. Everything available in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided by its technology. Number 3, it is accessible and it is economically useful to us, is considered as a resource. Now, children, before our knowledge about resource, we were thinking things which are useful to us we are using. But children, every single good, every single commodity which we are using is known as a resource, because number 1, it is useful to us, and number 2, it is having a worth in our life. After knowing the meaning of the word resource, let us understand what is the interdependence of us, that is the humans, between nature and technology. Now, there are 3 aspects. Human beings are surrounded by the 3 aspects. Number 1, physical environment. Number 2, technology. And number 3, institutions. Now, human beings should be in the center. And around us, that is around us, the human beings are lying these 3 parameters, which is, I am going to repeat, number 1, physical environment, that is the nature. We are living in a surrounding, in an environment where nature is surrounding us, children. Then number 2, technology. Everywhere we look around, we see technology. Yes or no? Did technology fall into our lap like that? Mother Nature gave us technology ready to eat? No. Are the institutions, big structures, big buildings, are these things which are available to us were given by Mother Nature like that, ready to be consumed? No. Who enabled these resources, and turning out these resources into useful institutions? It is the human beings. Therefore, we human beings are surrounded with the 3 parameters: physical environment, where we are living in, that is the nature. Number 2, with the help of our knowledge, ideas, our concepts, our technological knowledge, we are using these resources which are given by nature. And the 3rd is institution. With our knowledge, with our ideas, with our concept, and with the resources available in the nature, we are bringing all these things together to form different institutions. Now, after knowing the interdependence between humans, environment, technology, and nature, let us quickly go through the classification of resources. Children, I would like to ask you, while watching this video, you should keep a pen and a paper ready so that you may jot down the important points. Although I will attach, the crisp form of important details in the crisp form, the minute details, along with very short questions attached with this video, because after seeing the video you will be able to go through the revision points, what topics were covered in the video. All right, now after knowing the meaning of the resource, number 1, number 2, after understanding the interdependence of human with nature, technology and institutions, we are going to start with the classification of resources. Children, classification of resources is telling you into how many categories can resources be divided. So the broad heading under resources, there are two simple classifications, which is natural resources and number 2, human resources. Now if we understand the first classification, which is natural resources, we can easily get the meaning from the word itself. Children, always remember, in social science we get to know the meanings from the words only. The words are clearly depicting the meaning within them. For example, natural resources. Natural, something which is naturally occurred. We don't have to do anything with it. Our interventions are not solving the purpose, because simple substances which are present in nature or which are found naturally are termed as natural resources. The second classification, children, that is the human resource. Human resource, from the name itself, humans, that is we, us, we are also known as resources. Why? 3 important points which make us an important resource. Humans have that ability to turn out the substances present in nature into some useful resources. Number 2, humans have that technological know-how. The human beings have that technological knowledge how to turn the simple substances found in nature into useful products. And the third category, with our ideas, concepts, new schemes, new ideas and strategies, we are bringing together the natural substances, we are bringing together technology, we are combining them, and ultimately we are bringing up new resources which are useful to man. Therefore, humans are also considered as natural human resource. So the two big headings under the classification of resources are, number 1 is natural resource and number 2 is human resource. Now after natural resource, let us see into how many categories is natural resources divided. Natural resources are again divided into 2. Natural, from the name itself, resources which are present in the nature or which are given to us naturally. We have to do nothing with it. So the 2 categories of natural resources are renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Number 1, renewable resources. From the name we can get to know the meaning. Renewable. If we do pronunciation drill, renewable. Break the word. Renewable. Renew, something to generate, something which can be replenished, something which can come again. Able, ability to get that thing. So renewable means resources which are firstly given by nature, and number 2, which can be replenished again and again. They can be renewed again and again. So once we start using them, in simple terms to understand, they won't get over. Right? Now let us come to the second division of natural resources, the second classification, children. The second classification is non-renewable. On one side we have done renewable, on the other side it is non-renewable. So non-renewable resources are those resources which cannot be replenished again. which cannot be renewed again, which are not recyclable. Okay, so renewable, non-renewable. Now let us see the divisions of the second broad division of resources, which is human resources. Now human resources are completely termed as human resources with two parameters, with two divisions: structures and institutions. We are bringing in resources, technology to give output of structures, big institutions, you know. And then the second category is quality and quantity. Resources which we are using, which we are deriving into new resources, useful resources, are ultimately and surely coming out to be qualitative resources and quantitative resources. Now children, let us do a recap of the classification of the resources so that you don't miss anything. And if you have missed anything, you may quickly jot down the points which we are revising again. The big heading of classification of resources has two major divisions. Number one, natural resources, and number two, human resources. Now on one side, natural resources is further subdivided into two. Number one, renewable. Number two, non-renewable. Now come to the second big category, which is human resources. Human resources are again further divided into structure and institutions, and second, quantity and quality. Now, second division we have discussed. Now we will come to the third division, whereas again renewable resources are again further divided into two types. Renewable resources will be, on one hand, they will be continuous renewable resources. From the name children, continuous, what comes to your mind first? Something which is in a flow, something which is continuous, something which doesn't stops. Yes, of course. The continuous renewable resources are those resources which talk about the resources which are coming to us in a flow. They don't get stopped. What general natural renewable resources which come in a flow we can think of? You see, river water. River water is coming to us in a flow at a stretch. We don't have, time to time. After 10 years, this river will flow. After 14 years, this river will not flow. No. We have river water in a continuous stretch. Over a continuous span of time, we get this continuous river water. Second, wind. Do we have some phase of winds? No. Winds keep on occurring. Winds keep on blowing. So children, the first division of renewable natural resources is continuous. Second division of renewable resources is biological. Biological talks about the biological resources which are found over the earth's surface. That is, simple two biological resources we can think of: flora and fauna. If we understand flora in a simpler meaning, it is all the vegetation found over the earth's surface, children. All the plants, all the trees which we can see around comes under the big heading flora. And the second division of biological resources are fauna. Fauna simply means the animal species. Whatsoever, how many, n number of species, whatever animal you can think of, whatever species you know, are coming under this broad heading fauna. So let us quickly again go through the big chart of classification of resources. Number one, classification of resources has two divisions. Number one, natural resources. Number two, human resources. Whereas natural resources is again further divided into two resources, which is renewable natural resources and non-renewable natural resources. If we come to human resources is further divided into structures and institutions, and on the second hand it is divided into quantity and quality. The third division talks about renewable resources. The renewable resources are further divided into two categories: continuous, biological. Whereas biological resources are again further divided into two simple types: flora and fauna. Now after this big chart, there is one division which is left, that is non-renewable. resources which cannot be renewed. These non-renewable resources are again, classified into two headings. So then I took up non-renewable resources separately so that you don't get confused, because it has a detailed meaning inside it. Let us see the first division of non-renewable resources. The non-renewable resources are further divided into two categories: recyclable, and the second is non-recyclable. See, non-renewable, once you have used, are over. This much is clear. Now, those resources which are once used are over can also be subdivided into two types. Number one, recyclable. For example, metals. Metals can be recycled. Once the ores are extracted, you are not going to get the mineral ores again. Once mining, quarrying is done, you get the mineral ore and the land is barren now. You will not get resources again. Then it will take millions and thousands of years to get that mineral again. So minerals are considered as non-renewable resources. Okay. Now after extracting this minerals, once you have extracted, you have taken out, you have mined, and you have taken out the mineral, that is considered as non-renewable. After taking out these minerals, we can turn out these resources into recyclable resources, which can be recycled, can be changed into another form. For example, mineral ores can be further divided into certain metals. So after digging, we completed that category of non-renewable, because we are not going to get those minerals again. Now once we have taken out, what are we doing with that taken out portion of non-renewable resource is we can recycle. So this is the first heading of non-renewable resources classification. Number one, recyclable. Now second is opposite to this, non-recyclable. Non-recyclable resources are simply which are firstly fulfilling the category of non-renewable resources, it is not going to come again. And second, which we cannot recycle. For example, fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, once used, gone forever. We are not going to get it back, children. And we are not left with any other substance to get it recycled. Alright, so now we are done with the total classification of the resources. The bigger headings, the subheadings. Alright, children. Now, children, I will tell you the classification of the resources on the basis of their origin. On the basis of their origin always talks about in what form that resource was found, in what form that resource came to us. On the basis of origin, how did it come, how did it happen, how did that resource took place. So on the basis of origin, we have two bigger divisions. On the basis of origin, how did that resource took place, right? The first division on the basis of origin is biotic, and the second division is abiotic. Biotic, we all know, number one, they have been obtained from biosphere. Before moving further, I think I should tell you what is biosphere. Children, biosphere is the narrow zone of life where we have the compiled form of the three spheres of the earth, which is hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere. The combined junction, the combination of these three spheres are commonly termed as a whole is biosphere, right? So on the basis of origin, the first resource which we are talking about is biotic resources. Biotic, from the names, bio, which has some life, isn't it? You can get the meaning within yourself only, quickly. As soon as you get to hear the word biotic, you can say simply, biotic, bio, which has some life, study of life. Yes. So resources which are obtained from biosphere. Number two, they have life in it. As simple as that. If I ask you, give me the meaning of biosphere, biotic resources, you will quickly tell me, ma'am, the resources which have life in it. I'll say, very good, right? And the examples of biotic resources, flora, fauna, fisheries, livestock, all are biotic resources. Flora, fauna means the trees, the plants, the animals, different species, all the livestock we have on this planet Earth are termed as biotic resources. Second type of resource on the basis of origin is abiotic resource. Abiotic resources are composed of non-living things, things which have no life in it, but yes, they are occurring naturally, children. Don't forget, on the basis of their origin, they are natural also. For example, water, air, rocks, metals, all these are termed as abiotic resources. So children, the things which we covered today in today's class are: number one, simple meaning and definition of resources. Then we understood in detail what is the interdependence, of human with technology, then with nature and institutions, right? The third topic which we discussed is the big classification of resources, and after that we have discussed the first type of resource on the basis of origin. Children, we cannot just get confined to these two, biotic and abiotic resources. That is why we have a separate segregation of types of resources. So to make you understand the chapter very well, thoroughly, you need to study the content. Children, we have been posted the PDF of the chapter a day prior to the class. So I would request you all to watch the video very carefully, to go through the chapter thoroughly. You can jot down important points and then add into the comment section what area, what topic you found it a little difficult to understand, so that I may take up that topic in the next video. Now, before concluding, I would like to remind you, do not forget to maintain important points into a piece of paper, alright, so that you will quickly go through what the areas, what the topics were discussed in today's class. Number two, you will read the chapter thoroughly, and the third thing is you have to complete the assignment which is going to be attached with this video in your Google Classroom. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, children. Stay safe, stay indoors. I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Take care.